Hello everybody, this is Aiden. I'm back at you again with another vlog. I'm gonna have to come up with some sort of like intro or something because I feel really awkward doing these and especially starting and ending them. But anyways, today I could not think of something to talk about again until I took my medication after lunch. And as I was taking it, I realized I could talk about my experiences with that because I've had some unfortunate twists and turns with some of my medication, including some unintended side effects that have had really long-lasting consequences. So basically, the two medications that I'm currently taking are sertraline, which is just like a generic Zoloft, and then I have amphetamine salts, which is just generic Adderall, because I have ADHD and chronic depression, which sort of the depression part resurfaced last semester, which is part of why I stopped making videos. But I didn't used to be on Zoloft. I used to be on a medication called wellbutrin, or generic wellbutrin, and it really damaged my hearing. What I found out is that there's a little known side effect of wellbutrin called tinnitus, which is like a ringing sound that you have in your ears. Well, for me it was a ringing, it was like a sound that I started hearing. But other people hear like whooshing sounds or whispering sounds or like things like that. And so I started taking wellbutrin in November of last year, in like mid-November 2016. And I was on just like 150 milligrams a day, approximately, I believe. And it was pretty successful for a while. Like I definitely felt like my depression symptoms were being managed. But I also noticed that when I was in a place that was really quiet, usually when I was just sitting on the toilet or sometimes right before I went to bed, I would hear that slight ringing sound. And I didn't really think that much of it because it was so slight. I thought that like maybe like my bathroom just makes a weird noise and I was just hearing like the pipes of some sort, and I just sort of dismissed it. But my depression symptoms weren't being managed like to the full extent. Like I was still having some symptoms even though the wellbutrin was helping. So my psychiatrist decided we should increase the dosage. And so she wrote me down to double the dosage, and then, or no, she wrote me down to take it twice a day. Like, we talked whether or not I should double the dose and still take it once a day or just take it twice a day. And so we eventually decided that I would start taking it twice a day. Except she made an error when she was filling out the prescription for my new medication, and so she accidentally doubled the amount of times I was supposed to take it per day and doubled the dosage. So I was taking 4 times the amount of wellbutrin, which was giving me this side effect, tinnitus. So the tinnitus, within like a week and a half to 2 weeks after I started taking it, started to take over my life. Like I would start to hear it like when I was studying and when I was cleaning the rat cage, and it would be accompanied by a sense of dizziness and lightheadedness. And I wasn't eating very much at that point in my life either, which really exacerbated those symptoms. But eventually I started hearing it like in the middle of class while I was trying to like take notes for a lecture. And I did not realize like what was happening. Like I did not know what was causing it, until I eventually pieced together like the connection on my own and started Googling up the symptoms. Googling up the symptoms, that's a fun linguistic thing. I don't know, I haven't heard that before. What was it fun? Okay, anyway, that's not the point. The point is, we took me off the wellbutrin entirely, and waited for the symptoms to die down a bit. And I probably could have soothed them. Like I still have tinnitus. Like the symptoms died down, but like I still have it slightly. Like especially when I go to bed, and sometimes I'll like lose my hamster in my room. Like I know he's in my room somewhere, but I can't like find where he is in my room. And so I'll like turn off all of the noises, and I'll just like wait and listen and see if I can hear the little pitter patter of his feet. But all I can hear is that ringing sound, and it's so stressful in those moments. But we took me off that and put me on Zoloft, which doesn't really have tinnitus as a side effect, but like sometimes after I take it, I still like hear the ringing, and I know that that's mostly just psychological. That just me freaking myself out, like, oh my god, it's back! Oh my god, I'm damaging my hearing forever. I just sort of need to like calm down. So tinnitus I manage with white noise mostly. Like it's so mild that if I have a fan on in my room, I always have a fan on in my room when I'm in there when I'm sleeping. Then I'm able to tune it out. And on the occasions that I can't have a fan, if it's like super cold in my room or something like that, or if like I'm concerned that my rats like are having sinus issues. If it's too dry in my room, I might turn off the fan so it doesn't dry things out. Then I'll play like rain sounds on my phone. I have like a rain sound app. And rain's always been, I think you know from another video, like my thinking about Dick in the Rain video, rain is always super calming for me. But yeah, so those are the main ways I just combat that. And then Adderall also has some side effects, like the usual, like it dehydrates me, so I pee all the time when I'm on Adderall, and I'm constantly drinking water. And then my heart rate tends to increase. And when I first started taking Adderall, I was drinking like 3 cans of Coca-Cola a day, because I'm a bit of a Coca-Cola addict. Just the classic Coca-Cola. Not like, my mom tried to put me on the caffeine-free stuff, and it just wasn't the same, you know? But I was on caffeine-free Coke for a while, and I've tried to kick the habit so many times, but I'm just, like, so addicted to it. It's kind of a problem. I honestly think that it is potentially, like, an addiction. Like, the longest I've gone without Coca-Cola since middle school has been 3 weeks. And, yeah, it's just hard. So like my heart rate will get really intense when I'm on Adderall, and also my appetite. Like, I've lost like so much weight in the past few years. Like, like I'm like so skinny. And I mean I shouldn't be saying that, because I know that Adderall is so often used as like for dietary reasons, like people who want to lose weight, especially like middle school or teenage girls who are struggling with anorexia. That's part of the street value of Adderall, is that you lose weight. But when I first started taking it, after like a month of taking it, I ended up eating so little and losing weight so fast, I was getting dizzy, and like I would stand up and then I would almost immediately fall down. I felt like my body was breaking down. So they reduced my dosage, and that for a little bit. What happened is they put me on Ritalin instead, which was a little bit lighter, but I felt like the Ritalin didn't have a strong side effect, but it also didn't help as much with my actual ADHD, which was why I needed Adderall in the first place. So I was on Ritalin for a bit, and then I was like, this isn't helping as much, let's just go back on Adderall and I'll be more thoughtful about it. So I went back on Adderall, and for like 2 to 3 weeks after I started doing Adderall again, I kept a really detailed log of what I was eating. Like, I would say, like, this day I had this for breakfast, this for lunch, this for dinner. I didn't count calories or anything like that, but I just wanted to be mindful of it. Like, I just wanted to remember what I was eating every day. And I shared that document. It was like an Excel document or Google Sheets or something with my mom and with my primary care physician, so they could monitor like what I was eating, or they could check in. I don't think they ever actually checked it, but it helped me feel like I was being more accountable. Kind of like how making these video blogs and posting on the internet where like maybe 10 or 20 people will see them makes me feel more accountable for like having a diary for my own mental health, you know? So I was just more mindful about that, and that really helped me manage it. Now I'm not only on Adderall, but I'm also vegan, and I'm trying to cook for myself because I'm living in an apartment as a college student, and so my weight's sort of decreasing again, but it's a little slower, it's a little more healthy, and I am being as mindful as I can about what I put in my body. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It went on a little long because there's so much to talk about. If you have any questions about either of those medications that I'm on, feel free to let me know. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I've been able to like counsel some friends before, just like, is this a good decision for you? I shouldn't be saying anything like that. Oof, no, I don't want to be held liable if you make that bad decision. But I do want to like support you guys, and I know it's a really difficult decision whether or not you should try to take Adderall for your ADHD. For me, it was life-changing. Really, like, I would not be able to take care of these birds if I wasn't on Adderall, because, oh look, they're so afraid of me. Oh, on the other side. Because I just couldn't manage my fucking shit, you know? Like, a lot of creative people will be like, oh, I don't want to be on Adderall because it'll hamper my creativity. Like, I won't have, like, this big ideas. And I think that for me, it definitely, like, I don't have as wild ideas, or I don't, like, go into my own head as much, but I can create more, you know? Like, I can actually, like, put my ideas into action. I can, like, press start on a video and say things into a camera and have it be semi-cohesive, you know? So, like, I feel like I'm maybe less imaginative when I'm on Adderall, but I'm more creative in terms of actually producing shit. Barely. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!